We are here in the Raiana office in the town of Amstelveen, which you have not heard of, but Amstelveen is the New Jersey of Amsterdam. Let's leave it at that. More importantly, it is where the new Raiana office is located. And I'm very happy to be joined here by Igor and Eric, and they actually are going to show you some of the latest innovations in Raiana. So Igor, a while ago we started talking about standards and how standards play an important role in medical devices and IVDs. And there are two applications we identified. One to generate a checklist from a standard, or actually any requirements document. And one is to do a gap analysis between two different versions of a standard or a document. Yeah. So would you like to show Eric, as our subject matter expert and board member, how the applications work?
And also a critical beta tester, I might add.
That is definitely true. That's why it took so long to get these things to market. No, I'm joking.
So here at Raiana, you have the raise checklist generator, and you can drop any standard or requirement file that you have. And right here where you click it, you can go and select. Okay, I will just drop one that we generated this demonstration. And here you can, for the Raiana AI, select the verbosity of the file that you will extract from the requirement checklist generator. So let's put 50 here. Click in generate the Excel checklist after doing that. And it is generating. You can see the progress over here. So it's saying step by step what the product is doing. Okay, it's done. So you have really quickly the file here. And then, let me zoom in a little bit. You have all the checklist separated by category, and with the requirement and the description and the reference that got from the document.
Mm-hmm. So how would you use this type of output, Eric?
Where you would be looking at something completely new, right? Or when you are doing something for the first time. Mm-hmm. Typically what you see for startups, but also for bigger companies, when they start with a new product or they go into some new area, they know that the standard they're going to need is new. But that also means that they won't have any template documents for that purpose, for example, and also the regulatory people need to know what to do. And then requirements a checklist generator is really, really nice. And I think also, but that may still be secret, that we were discussing a reverse checklist generator, right? To generate procedures from checklists, which is also, that's...
Well, you heard it here first. That is definitely something on the road.
Yeah, super. Yeah. So this is basically how I would do it. Also, I think, I mean, it's a bit of a Swiss Army knife, because I think you can also use it for other purposes as well. I mean, as a lawyer, for example, what I would typically do is use it to analyze bigger documents, like what are the actual requirements in here. And also to, for example, decompose something into its operative parts, so you can work with it better. You can also use it, I think, to, if you would use it on documents other than standard documents, you could also use it on your own procedural documents if you want to, if you're a manager in a regulatory department and you need to distribute tasks, for example, right? So then you can make a checklist of this is all required, and then you could probably even query the AI to divide it into chunks that relate to each other, so people can actually be managed in doing things.
Yeah, so if I summarize, this feeds into requirements documents, internal audit checklists, GSPR potentially.
Absolutely. Yeah, internal audit checklist is also, I think, an important one, because this is, stuff that nobody likes to do. People want to get ready quickly. And this is also one of these 4I things, right? So typically, this is also how I work as a lawyer. I use my own judgment, and then I use the AI to double check this as your own, that you're basically your own 4I's team on things.
Okay, excellent. So let's put this in time. as you said, this is probably when there's a new requirement, some new requirements document or a standard comes out. But now we take a leap in time and there's actually an update. Some guidance, some standard updates. And then we come to the gap analysis tool.
Yeah. You can switch to the gap analysis tool, which is another powerful tool that we created, where you can upload two documents, the version 1 and the version 2, in order to see the difference between the documents. So if a new standard came out, you can get your old version and then compare with both versions and see the difference in terms of it's added, what is excluded or modified, and you can have all the sections in just one report from the Raiana AI. So here I can select the ones that I want. So for example, I will get this, which is the oldest one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You chose this document.
Yeah, this is document I chose because it's near and dear to me, the manual on borderline and classification. It's a document that's often updated, but depending on the mood of the people that updated it, they will provide more, less, or no clues as to what the updates are.
Interesting.
So that's why this tool is very interesting, and sometimes you might even discover things that that actually the persons that worked on the document didn't even put in there. And I think this tool like this also beats working in Acrobat, because Acrobat will give you this absolutely complete Rain Man comparison that is, frankly, I think, absolute horror from a usability perspective. And this will just tell you what the difference is.
Yeah. So you select the older version, and then you select the new one here.
That one, yeah.
And then you choose what you want. You want the export as an Excel file or Word. You want to see only the changes, or you want to see the full document, so you will see the unchanged parts as well. So I will put the changes only here, but we can see after the full document. But when you are ready, you just put the button to generate the file, and then it starts to getting all the text of both documents, and then Raiana AI starts to comparing them, and more than just comparison, it's separating by scopes and also by categories. So that's why the AI is really important to show better to the user to see, okay, this is the number 1 is the scope, or this is the part of the risk management. So it's really easy to see, and we will see in the
that's very important for standards. This document has a lot of different entries, each with their own little scope. So I'm really curious to see how it performs on this.
This runs for a while. So this is a big document. Yeah. We'll go scope by scope, like you said. We call
this is a task you would take a day if a person would do it.
Maybe while this is running, I will answer the question that must be on everyone's mind by now: is how do I get access to these apps? Because Raiana, you might know it for our chatbot like ChatMDR or ChatFDA. These apps are part of the Pro and Enterprise subscriptions. And this is a very important part of our roadmap, where we not only answer regulatory questions with a chatbot, but we also have apps that do these agentic tasks over a longer period of time, so you don't have to do this yourself, one prompt at a time. These are the Raise apps.
And I think the toolbox of apps is growing quite nicely, because there are some very nice ones in there already. But this is really this is the stuff. Everybody wants to have. I think it's done.
Okay, so
it's done.
Quicker than expected. So this is like kind of the nerds version, right, in Excel. So you can see that the yellow is changed, but that's a bit hard to see in this rendition. So we can do it again with the full text comparison.
Yeah.
But if we scroll down to the green stuff, then you can literally see what's added, and that's very user-friendly, I think. There's also room for improvement, where you would really show literally a track changes version, so a human user can see more quickly.
Yeah, that is actually the full text version. Maybe that's something that...
that's the full text version.
The full text version in Word, and you kind of get a red line.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, showing.
This is the
old one. Yeah.
And the new one. And then now we have the full document, not only the changes. So let me go to download file and open the document here. So you have here separated again by sections, and you have here some information, and then you have the unchanged parts. So this part is totally unchanged. You have the modified ones, the exact places that it was modified. So here is unchanged. This is the scope of the document. And you have other unchanged parts. For example, here, more modified parts, even though they are really small. Let me zoom in a little bit.
Yeah, it's like literally commas.
This is a little comma here, so that's why it's tagged as modified.
And this was actually a significant comma, the one behind mouthpiece. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, we have some changes here as well.
So you're going to now take a standard and do a gap analysis. Well, what is the standard?
Yeah, we as an AI company, we use this power as well to create some demo documents, I would say. I will put it here, two documents that we created, one old one and the other the new one.
So it's like our own synthetic data creation tool, basically.
Yeah. And then we generate.
So while we wait for that to run, of course, standards are copyrighted documents. We all know that. That's also why they're not embedded in Raiana by default. But how does that work with this standards tool, Eric?
Well, what we've done is actually, and I think this is something that people generally hate AI companies for, is because they steal the whole internet and then train their AI on it, right? So this is not what we're doing, because that would not be in conformity with the licenses that people have. So what we do is we allow people to upload their own standards, but these are the documents that they have purchased, that they are running on their own machine without sharing them with others. And therefore, the license of the standardization body is not breached.
Yeah, in the meantime,
it's done.
It's done. So we can see here with the document that we use for demonstration that you have the categories here, like scope, normative, reference, that what's saying that it's a modified part. So it's this, you can see the previous version, the new version here, and this is the red line, and the green lines
really beautiful,
where you add or delete it. Also, you have a space here if you want to take some notes by yourself. But basically, you have the difference between the sections here, and even more, you can see if the section number changed. So you can see here that now it's 3.4, but before it was 3.5. So you can see the changes from the...
That is relevant to nerds like me, because we remember these numbers. So, and we will use them in discussions.
Yeah, this is the only change part, but yeah, you can see and check everything of the document, the difference, and yeah.
And what's the blue color coding?
The blue one is just when it is renumbered, so it doesn't change anything, but it just changed the section number.
See, significant, like I said. Yeah,
Cool.
Great.
All right. Thanks, Igor. Thanks, Eric. So there you have it. 2 of our new standards-based applications in your Raiana Pro or Enterprise today.